today we look at what we love to call the power properties. And there's three different ones you need to look at and have examples for. The first one is a power of a power, or exponents of exponents. And the book shows it like this. If you have an exponent raised if you have an exponent raised to an exponent, what happens there? And sometimes letters confuse you when you do that, so I like to throw in some numbers. Let's just change this to say, what if I have x squared to the third power? What does that really mean? That means you have 3x squared times themselves. In which case, the answer would be what? X squared times x squared times x squared is
8 squared.
x to the 6th. 2 x's times another 2 x's times another 2 x's is 6 x's times themselves. So if you have any number here, x to the m to the nth power equals the same thing as x to the mn power, which means when you have powers, 2 powers, stop it. When you have powers, 2 powers, you end up just multiplying the 2 powers together. 2 times 3 gave you the 6. So powers, 2 powers get multiplied. You know, if I have x to the 8th power cubed, it's just going to be x to the 24th power. Because you have x to the 8th times x to the 8th times x to the 8th. That's what this means. X to the m power to the nth power, a power to a power gives you that. Case number 1. Case number 2 is called the power of products. The power of products. And in order for this to happen, children, you need to have something in parentheses. You'll have to have a parenthesis here. You can't do this without parentheses. If I have 5x squared y squared z, and that is all cubed. One step forward and 3 steps back. Now it's gone. Uh-oh. Back when we first got these boards, this used to happen a lot more. Oh.
It's coming back for you.
Now, what does that mean? How do you actually simplify that? Now, if they were writing this in letters, which they do, it would look like this. They do like this: x, y to the m power. What is it really? What's going to happen here, Ava?
You're going to cube 5 and then multiply the 2 by 3.
Yes, and what this really means, if you're doing it out, means you have 5x squared y squared z times 5x squared y squared z times 5x squared y squared z. Now, you don't have to write all that out. That would just be a little redundant. But this cube goes for each one of the factors in the parentheses. So it's 5 cubed, x squared cubed, y squared cubed, z cubed. If you're actually doing it, you'd have to do 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. X squared cubed, that's the rule we just talked about, is x to the 6th power. Y squared cubed, same thing, y to the 6th. And z cubed is z cubed. 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. So, somebody tell me what this would be. Using just generic letters, x, y to the mth power, Gabe, would be x to the mth, yes, and y to the mth.
Wait, what's that?
That sounds like a.
Parentheses?
No, the 125.
Products?
The 125. After the, what's the end?
It's supposed to be a z to the third, but it didn't really write out that way.
But it's an I.
I don't like using C's.
What's next? I like numbers.
And last, but certainly not least, is the power of a quotient property, which means division. In other words, if you have, oh, look at this. It's actually fractions is what it ends up being. If you have x over y to the m power, it's a little like the power to power thing. It means this m goes for both of these, so you actually end up with x to the m over y to the m. Using real numbers, the book gives this as an example. 2x over 5 squared means you're going to get what on top?
2x squared.
No, 2 times 2, you have to square both things. It is 4x squared all over 5 times 5, which is 25. 2x times 2x. I mean, what it really means is you have this 2x over 5 times another 2x over 5.
So the 4x is
Or x squared over 25 is the simplified answer. Perfect. Now let's do something hard.
Yay.
And again, I had the same issue with 7th graders the other day, and they still don't get this even though we talked about this before. Please make sure you understand the difference between this. If I have a minus 2x to the 5th squared, that is different than this. Okay. In this case, the negative sign doesn't get squared because it's not included in the parenthesis. In order of operations, grouping symbols get done first, and exponents inside those, you would have to do all of this first. You're going to get 4x to the 10th, and then there's just a negative sign out here that you have to keep. In this one, since the negative's in the parenthesis, it gets squared. Negative times negative ends up being positive 4x to the 10th. Just make sure you get that. I still have to repeat it amounts of time. All right, let's do this one. Oh, this will throw you for a loop. Let's see how many people actually get this correct. 9ab to the negative 2 times, squared, sorry, times 2a squared b to the 4th. How many of you are there? 28? For every person in here that gets it right, I will take one problem off of the next.
Alex, give me your answer.
No shit. You have to write your answer down and circle it, and put your pencil down so you can't change it. And I will only give you 1 minute to do it, because it's simple multiplication. Simple multiplication here.
Wait, with the A and the A squared?
I sense we may be doing all of them. But if nothing's on the line, no one ever.
Wait, can we have a negative exponent in our answer?
Well, you need to simplify it. I would probably accept it, but if it's a negative exponent in the end, you need to put it on the bottom of the fraction to make it positive. Usually in our answers, we're not allowed to leave negative exponents. So You just need to make it positive. Follow the very simple yet precise rules we are given. Josh, did you know we were going to sing that song in church today? Is that why you wore the Superman shirt?
Oh, I got two.
Wait, you have a Superman too?
Yes.
Yeah, we fist bumped in the morning.
Okay.
I don't
I don't even know where.
30 seconds I'm giving you. When the little red hand gets to the 6, everybody's putting their pencil down, and I'm going to look at some answers here. So we circle your answer. Circle it like 3 times in big, 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 beautiful letters there.
Oh, I didn't see that square there. Oh, I didn't see
No,
that.
I didn't do it right.
I'll do it.
I didn't, you were right, I don't know.
I didn't get it right. Pretty sure I didn't do that right. I got 6,500. Alright.
Alright.
Did anybody get it right?
First things first, children. There are no addition subtraction signs. This is all multiplication. You won't end up with an addition subtraction sign in your answer.
Oh.
I don't know how that happens. All multiplication. Order of operations, parentheses, grouping symbols first, but you can't simplify those yet. You then do exponents. And the first exponent you come to is this. The power to power rule, or the product rule, says that you have to take this 2, and it goes for everything inside here. You multiply it. 9 times 9 is 81. A to the first power squared is a squared. B to the negative 2. Negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4.
Okay. Yes.
That's the first parenthesis simplified. Second parenthesis.
Wait, what was it?
There's no exponent out here, so you don't really simplify anything yet. Now you just combine these two. 2 times 81 is 162. A squared times a squared is a to the 4th. B to the negative 4 times b to the positive 4 is b to the 0 power. And that's no b there at all.
I had it, I just didn't multiply.
Josh brought up a good point. He said, I thought you were multiplying them. Anybody? B to the negative 4th times b to the 4th is
0.
When you multiply bases that have exponents, you add their exponents together. Just like, Josh, why is b to the 2nd power times b to the 3rd power b to the 5th power? It's not b to the 6th. And that's a good thing to know. Exponents, 2 exponents get multiplied, but if they're just exponents with the same bases, you add them together. This is having 2 b's times another 3 b's. That's 5 b's. Same thing here. 4 with the positive 4 is b to the 0. If you put b to the 0, I would give it to you, but I don't think I
Did
saw it.
anybody do that?
How many people got this answer right here?
I crossed it out.
How many people? Alex, raise your hand.